Greetings, everyone. I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of This is Revolution Podcast. Yes, I have returned. If you watched the stream we did earlier today on Syria post-Assad, I told you I'd be back, but sadly, our guest, Danica Katovich from Code Pink, fell ill, so I hit up some friends and I decided to do something a little fun. Also, can't forget, we'll be opening up the phone lines in the champagne room because I'm sure you guys will have something to say, a lot to say after this show. If you are not a patron and would like to be part of the call-in shenanigans, there's only one way to do it. Become a patron for as little as $3 a month or $30 for the year. You can access call-in shows like the one tonight, experience champagne rooms past and present, get the crisis papers for free. It's awesome. Do it. Don't be a chump. See, this is why you're single. Because you're not a patron. That's literally what she said. Is he a patron of TIR? He's not? Balloon was popped, just like that. I was this close. If I would have thought about it sooner, I was going to put a pop sound on the soundboard for every time someone says something that sucks. Balloon pop sign. Finding love on the left. In an era of increasing atomization and economic precarity, the prospects of finding that special someone can be a daunting task. Does the difficulty get raised exponentially when you identify as a leftist? Is it a challenge to find that special someone when they haven't dissected Das Kapital? Is it even worth it if they aren't fighting for the proletariat revolution? They've never forced a vote, and they sure don't understand why Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson are triggers for your PTSD. Is finding a match that shares in your political perspectives a must, or can one find infinite bliss with a lib? Can political differences be put aside to find love? Or is it impossible to sacrifice your ideals for the sweet, warm, loving embrace of a companion that wants to make America great again? Join us tonight as we discuss the trials and tribulations of finding love as a leftist. Also, don't forget, after the show, we'll be opening up the phone lines in the champagne room. Coming in hot is a returning guest, my very good friend, collaborator on projects, and single man. Please welcome Alexander Herbert.
Single man for sure. Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say Cynthia. I thought you were gonna dog me like that. My best friend.
No.
I was about to be really angry. But that was me.
And introducing a new face to TIR lore. She is a writer, journalist of sorts. Wherever you're watching or listening to this show, there's a link to her Substack so you can see the things that she writes about. Please welcome, coming all the way live from an overpriced apartment in New York, Cynthia Cook.
Hi to my friends and my fans.
How are you tonight?
I'm sure people are so excited to see me instead of the guest that you had originally
supposed to have. She's kind of hot, actually.
With a guest. I'm serious.
I hope she's not watching right now.
You didn't tell me that there was a call-in component of the champagne room.
Yeah, the champagne room is where
now
it's
got me curious.
Now you want to see. That's the fun part, is talking the shit and then hearing the people go, well, this is my problem.
Yeah.
When I take a blue chew.
And my apartment is not it is overpriced probably by the standards of everywhere, but it's actually a rent stabilized apartment.
Oh, you have rent
control. I got lucky. And you want to know how? Manifestation.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something really inappropriate.
Oh no. Unfortunately for you and the fans.
You manifested it. Okay, so let me ask Cynthia first.
Manifested it. Guys, I'm so excited to bring my spirituality to all the leftists.
Oh, god damn. Why'd you tell me about this? Now it's time for me to leave, dog.
You're gonna be so excited.
That's a big fucking crystal. Is that a crystal you brought? Is that a crystal?
It's a salt lamp.
A salt lamp?
Yeah, I got one.
What the fuck does that do?
Well, actually, because I am the way that I am, which is like a chaotic mess, I haven't even gotten like a light bulb to put in it yet. So it's just.
Have you ever licked it?
I haven't, but maybe I should try. Not on screen.
No, you should definitely lick it right now.
No.
It's salt. Come on, dog, it's salt.
Absolutely not.
I wish the chat was here. Lick it.
The chat is like, holy shit, James.
Wait, where is the chat? I can't see it.
There's no chat.
Oh, you can't see the chat?
See, now it's starting. She gets people rock hard. Here we go, and away we go.
The chat is in full effect right now, dude.
I knew it.
The chat is in full fucking effect right now. The first question I had before you pulled out that goddamn rock.
Wait, where's the chat? I want to see it.
I don't know.
Yeah, how come? Wait, Jason, how does it work? Jason, how come one person popped up, but then like I don't see people chatting?
You can't see it on the side of your screen?
No, but then I saw someone, with their derogatory commentary.
That people keep I'm not gonna put what people are writing, right?
Wait, you can see these perverts, these freaks, and I can't?
Oh, I'm glad you can't see it right now. I can read it to you. Want me to read it? No, I won't read it because then.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I got it. Oh, so Cynthia, on the side, if you go to comments instead of private chat, then you should be able to see it.
Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah.
Don't listen to Sean Moon.
They're all saying lick it. Lick it.
That would make what would be funny? That's how the show blows up right there. They're like, yeah, I tuned into some dating show and this guy had it.
Exactly. And like, I would love to support you in that way, but there's going to be some screenshot. It's going to get back to my mom. I can't.
Of all the things you've done, though, that would be the tamest screenshot to get.
I have a freaking salt lamp. I'll lick that shit.
You have a salt lamp?
You have one.
Yeah. What the fuck? Do it right now. You lick it. You lick the salt lamp.
Yeah, you do it.
Oh my god.
This is feminism. We're turning the tables around. He will be objectified.
We haven't even got to a question yet.
Exactly, because we need to give people some.
Are you gonna lick the salt lamp? Oh, get in there. You got to get in there good though, like you're trying to pay the rent.
I don't know. I'm like ovulating. I shouldn't be watching that. This is why I came on. I want to give the people some entertainment, give them some liveliness, give them some fun. I won't be licking anything.
So someone asked, can you pick it up with your feet, Cynthia? You're not gonna...
Yeah, at that point, I could definitely move out of my. Unfortunately, no.
Steve,
but we should talk about love and things of that sort. What's your
okay, here's the first question I have. Cynthia, you live in a big city, right? Is it harder for you to find a match, if you will? Are you, first of all, let me ask both of you guys a question. Are either one of you on dating apps? No. Alex.
Never. Sorry.
Alex, can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Alex, we can't hear you. Unplugged you muted your mic.
You were so high on the salt lamp.
Yeah, it was the salt lamp.
Yeah.
Me up. It's like doing mushrooms. So for the longest, so I am still like categorically against dating apps. I think that they're designed not to make you have a partner because obviously they want money. They want to keep you there. But I have the added difficulty of the fact that I'm sober. So I don't really go to bars or anything. And I have very strict rules about where and how I hit on people. So I spend most of my time at work, which is a campus, and at the gym. And I have rules against hitting on people at the gym. I don't hit on people at the gym. And so my options are very limited. And so I do actually have a dating app now, and I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Because well, for all the reasons that I think most people would guess. It's very like surface level. It's kind of sad. Like sometimes, when you're like swiping and you come across somebody who is like physically disabled, and you're like, I'm sure that this person is really nice, but like I don't want to go on a date with them. So you gotta like, you have to like.
I'm so glad you weren't in the champagne room last night because I admitted some things about disabilities. Cynthia, are you
glad I walked into this show?
Are you? That was for last night. Last night we have to leave last night because you guys are not allowed to know what went on last night. Cynthia, and you're not on dating apps. Were you on dating apps?
Never.
You were never on. Come on, you've Tindered a couple times.
I'm sort of like fundamentally against them for a multitude of reasons. Partly like societal, structural, and then also partly like spiritual and spiritual. Not looking at but I'm kind of strange, I think, in that like I'm sort of fundamentally against like looking for love. I've always just sort of like ran into it, and I like it that way. I hate to sound corny. I'm going to say a lot of corny things.
That's fine.
All the time. So whatever. Enough with his disclaimers. Because I am corny. I'm corny in that I really love when it comes to like love and relationships, even friendships. Like I love
horny or corny.
What did you?
You said horny or corny? I didn't hear it.
Here we go.
I didn't hear it. I'm just trying
to. Corny.
Oh, okay.
Because yes. I like rendezvousing. I like to leave it up to the algorithm of the universe.
Oh shit, that algorithm is a piece of shit.
I do because here's the other thing too that I don't like about like swiping and all that. Because I really feel like you need to see and feel and be in the energy of the person in real life in the moment, because sometimes like if you're on an app and you're looking at someone's photo, you can maybe glean like how you feel about them. Yeah. But maybe you're like, oh, they're like not attracted, or like maybe you like, I'm not attracted to them. But I've met or rendezvoused with people in real life that like I maybe wouldn't have thought I would have been into, but like the energy in the moment, I'm like into this person. You know what I mean? So I don't like the idea of bypassing that because you have some sort of idea in your head about like attractiveness or like what you might be into, and like, look, I'm sorry, but like maybe if you met that disabled person in real life, you'd be like, oh, I'm like really into that. Like you would like have some sort of attraction or connection.
I didn't see the picture of the chick with no legs twerking, Alex.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
I didn't send you that.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, for me.
But you see what I'm saying? Like I just like things to be very organic, and I always like meeting people in the wild. I also just hate dating. Like I don't like dates. Because answering your question, like I've gone on dating apps maybe like a handful of times just because I was like either curious or bored, or I was like, maybe I should just try this and like try and like meet some people or whatever. And I swear it's like every time it's just very either underwhelming or like awkward, or I feel anxious or I don't like it, because I feel like the biggest thing with me is I don't like not knowing if I'm going to be into the person, if there's going to be a connection. And then I just have to go on the date and like sit there through a job interview, and it's like awkward as fuck. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm really not into them. I have to leave. And then they always try and kiss you. And I'm just like, get away from me. So I would just rather skip all that, meet someone like at a show or at a bar, and I guess we'll get to like it might be more difficult for people who are sober, but like outside in the wild, that's the preferred method for me.
Oh, it's not difficult for me at all.
Can I say
well, I know not you. Yeah.
Strom, dog, you gotta chill out in the chat, man. Like you're like one comment away from killing yourself, dog. I'm like really worried.
I don't know what's wrong with Strom. I'll try to address the chat. You don't read. It's sad.
Anyway, what I wanted to say is, I think that you can have organic experiences with people that you meet on dating apps, and I definitely have. Most of the people that I've met through them, I'm still friends with, and it didn't work out for various reasons. I mean, a lot of my time is just at work, at the gym, or with my daughter, and I don't have a lot of time in between them. And so a lot of people are uncomfortable with the fact that I'm not like burning to hang out with them all the time. And what I think it comes down to is not so much, this is just my opinion, not so much whether you can have an organic opinion with someone on a dating app, but whether you know clearly what exactly you are looking for. And that's way easier said than done. And it requires a sort of two-way awareness of that. So I, for example, have a very clear idea of what I'm looking for, both in terms of what somebody's personality is like, what they have going on in their life, and what they expect out of a partner. But I can't say that I've met a lot of people who have that same understanding that I'm attracted to. I've gone on dates with people that they check all of those boxes, but I'm not physically attracted to them. And like, that's fine. We can still stay friends and everything. But I think that there comes this clarity, this sort of sense of awareness that is difficult to have in a real, genuine way. But once you do have it, it can inform and shape your relations with people in kind of profound ways that, regardless of whether it's a dating app or not. The thing with dating apps is, again, I do agree with you. The first point you made, that it's kind of so like surface level. You can't really tell anything about somebody based on their picture. And then not only that, but like when I match with people, I don't know what the fuck to say to them. Like I
never know. The worst thing in the world is matching with someone and then you have to say the first thing. And I don't know what to say. And then women have like this. I haven't been on one in a while, but women would have on their profile, and don't ask me how I'm doing. I'm fine.
Don't
I'm
say,
like, look,
hey.
bitch, I matched with one person a decade, not 5,500 a minute. So this is nerve wracking. Have a little respect. Jesus.
I just want to say, per what you're saying, Alex, like I've kind of found, I believe, or at least for me, is it like 3 pillars or 4? A few pillars that I think are important, like intellectual connection. This is for me, like intellectual connection, emotional connection, and physical connection. Actually, I would say for me, sort of also spiritual connection, because I do think I need someone who's kind of like, whatever negativity was going on in there, like I don't fuck with that. Like I want someone who's like generally not always positive all the time, but like generally trying to better themselves and better the world. Like I can't deal with otherwise, but there have been people where I've had an intellectual connection but there's no physical connection, or there's an emotional connection but there's no like intellectual connection, and I kind of feel like I need all 4 of those things.
I feel you. It's that for me too. It has to be all 3 or none. Strom again made this point that women do not want to be approached. Leave them alone. And I want to say that. Yeah, I know where I know the place where that sentiment is coming from. It's coming from let me paint you an example. I had a friend who she was single. And we're just friends. There's no aspiration for us to date each other. But she had an Instagram post one day about how annoyed she was that a guy came up to her at a Savers and said like hi, and then asked her if she was single. and she was complaining, and she was like, "Oh, I don't go out in public to be hit on by men, and how dare he do that, blah, blah." And I responded by saying, like, isn't it sort of like a respectful way to approach somebody, to go up and be like, "Hey, I don't know." You could say, "I think you're attractive," and then ask first, "Are you single?" For in my mind, that was sort of like, how do you want people to approach you? Because I do think that there are people such as that kind of only expect to be hit on in social in dating apps. Like that's the sphere for it, and it's only in dating apps. And they don't want to be approached in real life. It's sort of the opposite of what you're saying. And so what I think Strom is getting at, although he might not know it himself, is that there's a lot of mixed signals that go out in the dating world. And it's really difficult to sort of navigate and to be able to tell, well, does this, speaking from my perspective, well, does this woman want me to hit on her in person? Or do I have to find her on the internet? Or like, does she not want to be hit on at all? Is she going to think that I'm a creep if I just go up and ask her if she's single? Like, and it's different for everybody. And it's impossible to know what any one person is looking for.
Well, to that point, I want to say, like, I know y'all are saying, like, women want this, men want, we need to stop saying that. Stop overgeneralizing and saying women want this and men want that and women don't like that. It is all relative. It's relative to the person. It's relative to the situation. It's relative to the context. Like, it is not like, if you were to ask me as a woman, like, do you like to be I would be like, I don't know, sometimes, maybe, this time, yeah, it worked then, that time it was creepy. Like, it's literally all relative. Like, this is the second part of why I don't like dating apps from like a structural kind of cultural standpoint of how it is formulating us into being these people on our phones and not being with other people in real life, in community, going to third spaces, etc., and being forced to be, you know, married to our technology and not actively going out into the world and trying to create and foster organic relationships, such that maybe in a situation like that, you're too afraid to go up to someone because now you're like brain rotted. You know what I mean? And it's like, should I, like, I feel like people probably get that same anxiety even trying to make friends now, you know, like, should I talk to them and they think I'm weird? You know,
I mean,
like,
does that speak to, I agree with what you're saying about the whole thing with phones and seeing this really sad meltdown in the chat of a young man who actually is rather attractive. Have this meltdown is really funny.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, he's a super sweet kid.
What's going on, Strom? We gotta
sometimes hey, everybody needs hugs. Everybody needs hugs. It can be awkward to try to approach people because I think there's a disconnect the way we talk in general, and being able to delete, send pictures instead of words in the form of emojis and GIFs does alter the way you may even see yourself and even your sense of humor, your ability to talk to somebody. So I think people are kind of scared to talk to anyone in a public setting, period. I'm not even talking about anything even romantic, you know, to your point about making friends. Like, I talk to people, Alex has hung out with me. So, you know, everywhere I go, I'm talking to somebody, right? Because I think people are interesting. I like people. I'd leave my house just to leave my house to work somewhere where I'm going to have to interact with somebody so I can talk to them. Does that help in trying to meet someone, just going out for it?
It's also, I mean, it's also too, like, again, like I said, it's relative. It's per your personality. Like, I'm a very, like, I have no problem going up to anyone and talking to them, but a lot of people aren't like that. You know, they're sort of inherently afraid of doing that. So I feel like that's fine, you know, but I would say it's just like going back to the spirituality, you guys, but like practicing.
You better not lick that rock. Do not lick the rock.
I won't lick the rock, but I will say, like, trying to practice to be present in the moment and just like listening to what you feel genuinely, authentically driven to do. Like, if you see a person that you like find intriguing, you feel attracted to them, like maybe, you know, across the way or whatever, maybe you meet eyes, or maybe you just feel the impulse to go and talk to them, you know, but you have to like pay attention to like how you're feeling and the impulses that come up.
What if you don't understand social cues? Do you think people don't? I'm bad at social cues. A woman has to put up a big sandwich sign and say, "Hey, hey, talk to me."
Yeah. Also,
like I'm
I
that
feel like
bad.
I can understand for men, it's probably like way more difficult because it's like you know, specifically socially, it's like we've been sort of conditioned where it's like the man has to approach, the man has to make the first move. And I can sense how maybe uncomfortable and awkward and scary that is, especially because you don't want to come off as a creep. And sometimes you do. That's not helping. I'm not helping. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, you know.
I mean, look, what's the worst thing someone can say? I'm not interested. Okay.
I mean,
yeah, but you just gotta get over it.
You know, try doing this stuff sober. It makes it that much more difficult. Yeah. But in any case, I don't do it. But there's a couple things that got brought up that I didn't respond to. The first one is you guys agreed on the dangers of technology for this whole thing, but I actually disagree. I think that technology kind of enables an amazing form of connecting with people across space that like I would have never have met before. I mean, there's one person, and if she listens to this, she knows there's one person that I would like chase down the most treacherous path for, and she lives on the other side of the world, and I wouldn't know her if it weren't for technology. But so I have to disagree there. I think technology is amazing. It's also because I work at a technical college, and so I have to maintain some faith in technology. So maybe you guys are just a bit more conservative when it comes to the benefits of technological innovation. There are limits, of course, but in this case, I think it's fine. And yeah, of course, it's relative or subjective when it comes to that. But I think that humans in general, we tend to try to aggregate information. We try to generalize about it as much as we can, and that's what informs our actions or our opinions about things more often than relativity. And so that's why someone like Strom, for example, who has probably had maybe 2 or 3 experiences of being like pretty rejected in an utter way, or maybe, you know, has had dating apps and never got a match. That's why they can have the opinion that they have and feel vindicated by it, because it's their experience based on limited experiences, but they've aggregated it into one kind of collective understanding. And the other thing I was going to point out is regarding your comment about connectivity. You know, when you connect with somebody, I agree. I agree with you. I've definitely like encountered people where I'm like, oh, this person is dope, and I want to know more about them. But the older I get, the more, and actually the more sober I get, the more I've kind of rejected that in a way, because again, once you understand clearly, you have an understanding clearly of what you want and what you're looking for, then side quests they get in the way of what could be other fruitful avenues. And so I'm much more pragmatic when it comes to dating than anything else. I don't really like, emotions are important and everything, but like I'm not trying to like fuck around, literally, you know?
Like you're a serious guy.
Yeah.
Are you looking for Miss Right?
Sorry, go ahead.
Are you looking for Miss Right? Or you just if she comes along, she comes along?
Dog, I'm just floating around. That's all.
So you are fucking around. That's what all float arounders say.
No.
Don't believe him, ladies. That's full of shit. That's full of shit guy right there.
I actually intentionally have to tell people that I'm not looking for friends with benefits, because I think it's an extreme waste of time. Because as I said in the beginning, if all of my time is spent between work, the gym, and my daughter, then like, why would I engage in a situationship or friends with benefits that is distracting me from on a free day from what could be an actual fruitful date with somebody, a meaningful
Because I
date,
nut quick.
That's why.
you know?
What was that? What was that,
The
Jason?
hell was that?
Because I nut quick.
So now's the time. Now's the time, Jason, that we need to know Alex's sign.
Oh, she wants to do your birth chart,
Oh, I'm a Capricorn.
but she needs to know the time you were
okay.
born. She needs to know your mother's maiden name.
Yeah, do we know the big three? Everyone's so excited about this.
She
I know
needs to
they're
know
gonna
the
be so excited.
last 6 of your social, not 4. She needs 6 of your social.
Capricorns are very practical and pragmatic, so that makes sense.
That does make sense because I'm not a Capricorn. Down. Damn, you fell for
What
it.
are you? Well, what are you?
Your microphone is off.
So yeah, and that's why we have to know like the big three. Everyone say your
What's
big
the big three
in the
again?
chat.
It's the day you were born, the
It's
time you were born.
Your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign.
You're gonna lick that rock, aren't you?
Everyone can share their big three in the chat.
Totally gonna lick that rock, aren't you? This is
My rising sign has something to do.
Because I
Okay,
nut
well,
quick.
now everyone's just gonna clown on me.
No, I'm making fun of Alex.
You guys, it's real. It's actually real.
I do
Anyway.
want to ask you guys. Look, we're about a half hour in, and I want to ask you guys about another trend that people are saying. A lot of this has to do with this new way of dating through technology, ghosting.
I don't ghost.
You tell people why you don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Do you think people would rather just you ghost them than you tell them why they suck?
I don't really care.
Damn.
me,
So it's all
for
about
me-
you. It's good to
For
know.
me, it's important that I communicate with people. That's it. I don't have anything else to add. Sometimes I say things to people that maybe they don't want to hear, but sometimes I think that people need to hear it. And
I
so
wish I don't think people should ghost, but I'm guilty of it because I'm just too scared to.
Oh, that's some honesty right there. Come
I
on.
I don't think people
Let's
should.
pull it out. Lick the rock. Let's pull it out. What frightens you? Because I'm not going to sit here and fucking lie.
I feel bad. I don't want to okay, for example, last night, I went to the Mad Lib show or the tribute show.
And
I
you
met
that
these
man.
I met these two guys who were like significantly
nasty.
older.
Oh,
And
you
they
freak.
were really nice, but I struck up a conversation with them in the line for the show, and then inside, clearly the one guy was interested in me, and he was like,
Nasty.
come meet us in the front. So, but I went alone, so I was like, okay, well, I'll go hang out with them. But it was like a tough position to be in as a woman because I'm like, I don't want to make them, feel like I'm trying to be like, don't touch me, but like. Guys do that thing where they like put like their hand on your lower back. That's them I mean, I don't know. Maybe guys tell me otherwise, but it was like, oh, okay, he's trying to hit on me.
What?
And I was,
Wait. Repeat that. Hands behind your back? Do what?
No.
like leaning in to like whisper something and like putting a hand on the lower back. I don't know. To me, that's
Right above the buttocks.
the lower back.
Right
When
above the buttocks.
When I went to Jason's house, he kept doing that to me. I was like, bro, leave me alone. What are you doing, man?
I came on this podcast to be clowned. No,
He
but
was
my
like-
point.
She's like, this is normal in
is-
Mexico.
Sometimes you have to massage your friends.
My point is after, he like asked for my number and then he texted me today and I haven't responded and I'm like, I'm scared to respond because I feel bad because I'm not interested. But like, what do I say? I don't want to, I don't want to make them upset or sad. I don't want to reject anybody.
I think it's different for women. I'll give you that. And again, I'm generalizing, but I have enough friends of mine who have said essentially the same thing that you have, which is like, I feel like if I don't ghost this person, like they're gonna get really angry, and they know where I live, and like it can be dangerous,
Yeah, there's also that. Like women really have to be like very conscientious of that.
I'm not going to touch your lower back.
Okay.
You can touch my lower back, dog.
I'll
I like
touch your
that
lower
shit.
back because you've been doing RDLs, and I'm like, let's see what those glutes are doing.
Who, me?
Yeah, someone said Antonio said you can't exactly preemptively tell people you don't want to date them if the topic hasn't been breached.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're not a ghost. So you have ghosted
Yeah,
people.
well, okay, but per the conversation about like going on a date, like my coworker today said, like, I don't know, I mean, maybe I would like go on a date with him once. And I just, for me, I'm like, I already know that I'm not interested. I didn't feel an attraction. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, I'm not that person who's like, maybe we'll go on a date and see how it goes. I'm like, no, I already know how I feel.
Wow.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I thought I got a question.
Uh-huh.
There's a famous line by the band The Hold Steady, and
It's a great band.
Lula, damn, what have I done to offend you?
Jason told me about this dialogue or this. Okay, go ahead.
There's a famous line by the band The Hold Steady where he says, I don't know the order, but guys go for looks, women go for status. How do you feel about that?
Again, I think it's just like a sweeping generalization, you know.
Would you fuck?
Like
I'm sorry.
all men.
Would you date? I said the wrong thing.
Wait, what?
Would you date? I just didn't say anything. These aren't the words you're looking for. I said,
I heard that.
Would you date?
Alex, you just said this like very incisive, like you just spit like a very incisive monologue about like the intricacies of dating and connection, and you then just come out here and say like men go for looks and women go for
Song lyric. I'm asking
You said it was song lyrics. But is there some truth to those song lyrics? Because I watch a lot of balloon pop shows, and every balloon pop show I watch, which is nothing but
Jason got me on the balloon pop show, so now I'm obsessed with that. Again, a sweeping generalization. Will I say that that's how we've all been conditioned? Yes, obviously, but like we should decondition ourselves from that conditioning. I don't.
Why does this sound like every male loneliness podcast? You can make it sound like all those males that are like, "Hey, women are stupid."
I think
this doesn't sound. Is that what we sound like?
I guess was that the one you'd rather hear? All women are stupid. You do OnlyFans. You're
Men
stupid.
go for status. Women, or what was it? Women go for status.
Why would I date you? You bring nothing to the table.
Want one thing. Bitches want one thing.
I think actually, if I'm being honest with you, in my experiences, I think that it has turned out to be mostly true. Status weighs much more for the women that I know and the women that I have dated than looks do. And I know that that's controversial, but I'm sticking to it.
Well, then they're superficial.
It could be true. I mean, some of them are people that I really value and I'm still close friends with, but I could see by the people that they're dating that status weighs more. I wouldn't say that it's the only thing, but it definitely weighs a lot more.
Do we mean like what? Like men having a lot of money, men being famous, having power? Is
men
that
having 40,000 subscribers on their podcast?
Which I know bothers Jason. It bothers you. We're gonna have to talk about that, Jason, about your deeper triggers. Who wants more? Yeah, hashtag not all women. Exactly. Hashtag not all women. That's not me. Again, where are like the authentic people who want like genuine connection? Is it just me? I don't want just men with status. In fact, that's not like
I don't know who this woman is, but she's fucking rad. Men don't understand the cost of having to be valued by looks. I would prefer to be able to earn something.
Yeah,
I would have a physical. If it's a physical challenge you want, that's fucking rad.
That's disgusting, Jason.
No, it does suck for women in that sense because
a physical challenge is disgusting, Alex.
No, I thought you were offering a physical challenge.
Yeah, like to perform one, not like a sexual one, like a literal physical challenge.
Also, because we can't escape it. Men, it's like as they get older, it's like they're like somehow sexier, but we have to stay like 20.
That is the most not.
I think I haven't seen all you late 30s, 40-something men who always go for 22-year-olds. Don't think I haven't seen it.
If you can twerk it, I can work it. How about that?
Now I'm like, is Alex a Gemini? Because he's like mischievous and actually crazy. He's like all over the place. I come on this podcast, I'm like, oh, this is like a very like pragmatic, like centered guy. And now he's like some like
She's never
teenager.
seen him in the champagne room. That's why.
I guess we'll get rowdy there. No, but basically, I think that people, my prescription for people and for myself is like, don't we want genuine, authentic connection with another person? Think about your friends. Like, think about the kinds of people that you are friends with. Like, you're not friends with the person that you like can barely make small talk with, right? You're friends with the people that you like really vibe with. So why is it different for romantic connections? Don't you want to really connect with someone and have, like we were saying, like the intellectual and physical and emotional connection?
But isn't that the problem though with this idea that you can find love through swiping and everything is instant, that it's kind of hard to think about how long it might take to put a friendship together, even though it makes sense. No, I'm agreeing with you. It makes sense to have that level of connection. Does it feel like for you if you met somebody like at a bar, I don't know, wherever you go to meet people, and
the drug house?
I'm sorry, the what?
At the trap house?
I thought you said the nut house. I was like, damn, is that kinky?
I'm done.
At the trap? You know I live there.
The queer cafe.
Christ, people.
I'm just clowning because I'm the only non-sober person here.
My God.
Jason makes fun of me.
My God.
I'm hyping it up.
I'm just kidding.
I actually agree with what you're saying, Cynthia. I mean, of course, like connection is what you're looking for, but again, I don't think that knowing that you're looking for connection is enough of knowing what you're looking for. Like everybody wants connection, but there's a deeper sort of like sense of desire. I think, I don't know how else to word it, that you have to be cognizant of when you're dating, and that and a certain level of honesty too, because I go on dates with people all the time where if I catch what the kids these days call a red flag, then I don't want to even like go forward, because why? Yeah, at this point, like I've purposely been single for 3 years, and I've like gone on plenty of dates with people, but I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm not willing to settle if I don't find that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. And nobody should, by the way. I think that people settle because they're afraid that the thing that they actually want is not going to come. So it's like, oh, I guess I'll have Brandon, you know. He checks these boxes. I should, you know, but like, again, would you settle for like your friendships? Like, would you? And obviously that's, you know, there's a gradient to that, because you have some people who are more your acquaintances, your work, whatever. And then you have people who are your really good friends. Right. But like, I just think, I think that people settle because they're afraid, you know, they don't want to. Why are you laughing? Or so what? Something. Wow, that was like a Freudian. Yeah.
No, dude, the chat is on fucking fire tonight. If you're listening to the show later, you need to go back and watch it, because we can't read everything that people are saying, but it's pretty fucking hilarious.
But you know what I mean? Like, don't settle for Brandon.
Damn.
Like, allow yourself to want what. Here's the thing: allow yourself to want what you want.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that that's really important, and it's principled. I think it's important. I mean, to answer Jason's prompt in the beginning, should you be willing to date people who don't align with you politically or something like that? I would say no. I'm not willing to date people that don't, at least in some sphere of where I am. I mean, I consider myself a disciplined, theoretically learned and articulate communist, and like if I couldn't date a liberal because I have too much arguing with liberals, or just like a lot of liberals that I have gone on dates with just don't even know what the definition of a liberal is, like literally. And it's not my job to like explain that to them, nor do I want to be blamed for mansplaining anything when that time does come and they do ask, what do you mean when you say liberal? And I'm like, okay, well, now I have to explain it. So like, yeah, I do think that some kind of political conviction needs to be there, as well as you said, physical connection and emotional connection.
Yes. I agree.
Is if you met someone like Alex at the place you go to meet people, would he strike your fancy with his words?
Yes. Because I like smart men and I like men who are politically, where I'm at.
Do you like
What the
long
fuck
butt?
does Alex sounds like a real last minute? The
Yeah,
fuck
what
does that mean?
What shit does that mean?
You sound like you're not fun.
Oh no! When it comes to, I'm trying to be like, you know what? I can't be funny guy 100% of the time. I have to go back and forth.
No, but you're like low key funny or like mischievous or something. Like again, you like present as like this very like pragmatic, like, but then like sometimes you like come with a something through the back door. I hear how that sounds.
Cause I nut quick.
Ew, what the fuck? Yeah.
You say neck? Did he say neck queen?
Because I nut quick. It's that rapper Lil Boosie. He was on. There's a dating show that he has. I don't understand it. So women walk up and they'll say something. Sometimes they'll say like jokes, and sometimes it'll be like, I just like sucking on dicks, and they'll be like, her over there, and you're like, what the fuck? What is the point of this?
I like
And
that.
so some girl, he was like, I don't let me put it in your ass, because if I put it in your ass, I nut quick. And then
No, somebody said, I like that somebody said, been a while since I've seen leftists be horny at each other. No, exactly. We need more of this, which
No.
I just listened to the Breeze episode about dating on the left. And like, of course, there was that DSA like speeding or what is it, speed dating or whatever, and I was gonna go to that, but it was like $40, so I was like, I'm not paying $40.
That's too much for speed dating.
A bunch of dates.
Are you serious?
That's too much. Yeah, I don't know, I didn't have the money.
I went on a date. I went on a date with this woman in the States, and everything is like triple the expense, and I don't have that much money. And I was just thinking the whole time, I was like, man, this is an investment.
I wasn't willing to invest in that. And then I heard on their podcast that, like, of course, leftists had all these problems with it beforehand. Like, I don't even know what the fucking problems were. It was like, because I think that they called it like thoughts and trots or something.
I think it's creative.
Like, I'm like, and like apparently people had like problems with that. And then like the event, like, the organizer or the guy who runs it had some like, like canceled past or whatever. I was just like, y'all, this is why y'all are miserable. I'm sorry. Like, you can't even go to a speed dating event like one time and not make it like a miserable fucking, festival of misery. I'm happy I didn't go.
There was a speed dating thing they did in the Bay Area on BART, which is our like subway system. In the Bay, and that seemed kind of interesting. I was reading a little bit about it. All that shit seems kind of weird to me.
Why?
I disagree with the leftists need more horniness thing. I'm just gonna say
absolutely.
Why?
More fun, more.
No, I disagree with it.
Why don't you need to be horny? Who's so horny? Yeah, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
I think that society is way too horny right now. I mean,
society is so not horny. There's no one's fucking horny right now.
Yeah,
kids are fucking. Oh,
there's no eroticism. Are you talking like America specifically? Absolutely no eroticism. We're completely desexed. No,
I don't think we're living in the same place. Because like I watch stand-up comedy specials and all the jokes are about sex.
Stop watching the right-wing comedians.
Most comedy films, all the humor is sex humor.
That's not sex.
Every man is addicted to porn. You know?
Exactly. That's not eroticism. That's not like real desire. That's
not Cinemax, dude. You're over there on the internet. Come back to Cinemax. Watch between the lines, Alex. Watch between the lines.
I can't tell if you guys are fucking with me because for me. I think that's
spiritually, energetically, it's like, yeah, there's like an oversaturation of sex, there's songs talking about my wet ass pussy, but it's so not. It's so like alien. It's like, for me, it feels like alienation.
You know what it is? It's the hawk to a girl. I feel like
you guys are saying all the shit that's proving my point.
No, I'm saying that it's fake.
About pussy.
No, I'm saying that that's fake. It's just, hey, this is shocking.
Yeah, like
I don't think all these people are spitting on dicks like that, dude.
It's like devoid of something. I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe it's more like ontological.
Are you getting your dick spit on? No, nobody's spitting on dicks like that.
Mind your own goddamn.
Listen, I'm not going to talk explicitly about anything
dicks.
like that, but it's also been a year, so. So if you're picking up on horniness, you're probably.
So if you started doing shit and just like was like, hey, can you see that in the camera?
Well, I also just think like
enough for you, Alex.
Wait, are you doing something right now? Are you like posing?
You see that in the camera?
You letting your balls dangle, bro?
I need to move the camera closer.
Jason,
I'm plugging this
Jason, wait, what has pussy more like worker association? Exactly. Jason, is it important for you if you're seeking a partnership? Do they need to be like on your level politically? Like,
fuck no. No.
Really?
Not at all. No.
Wow. My last boyfriend or situation, we were completely on the same political page. And I can't tell you how fucking refreshing it was. It was like literally the first night we met, we were like talking about the railroad strike. Like
the real world strike?
No. I'm the railroad.
Oh, the railroad strike. The real world strike. What is your political affiliation?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It was so nerdy, but I loved it. So I was like, oh, he's so smart. And like, he's so passionate. I feel like I need someone who's like passionate about politics.
Ooh,
like, that
sounds like a nightmare to me.
Why?
When I get done with this, like seriously get done with this, I don't want to talk about it more. I don't, I'd want to like, hey, let's watch a movie. And
I could talk all night. I could yap all night.
I think there's a balance. Like I dated somebody once who she had like very intelligent points, and like I'm a professor, so I teach history, and so I talk about it all day, and we would go out after a work day, and she would want to talk about history or something like that, and there were days where I was just burned out from it. I was like, you know what, I don't want to have this conversation right now, because like for me, as somebody who thinks so structurally about, history and current events and everything like that, it's kind of if you couldn't tell, a lot of my explanations and the ways that I understand things are very long-winded, and they explain a kind of deep analysis of things. And so sometimes I don't want to have that conversation with someone. I just want to be goofy and that's it. Yes. And that's my time.
I'm looking for somebody that's goofy.
Maybe because y'all are like deeply like doing what you are here to do, and I am still like trying to start like actually doing what I want to do. So
that's
maybe
what I meant.
So maybe if I was like doing it all the time and like constantly writing and talking about it, then I would be like,
I have friends that do this. We were talking about this actually for our Valentine's Day thing, and there's like two camps. Or some people are like, no, I was with someone that was kind of apolitical and that shit sucked. I'd rather be with someone that's a little bit more on par with me. But again, I kind of want to be able to shut off and hang out and just be Jason.
Well, I think you're proving my earlier point, which is that it's all relative. We don't all want the same thing, and we also don't want all the same thing, and we also don't want it all at the same time. Meaning, like maybe a previous relationship, I was more okay with like a guy who was more like apolitical or didn't care, and now my tastes and have evolved and changed.
What would have to happen for you and Alex to meet up? Because you guys aren't that far from each other.
Do you live in New York?
That's what I meant when I said you have to know what you're looking for.
Alex lives in don't tell
Providence.
me. I was gonna tell her. Fuck is wrong with you?
You were stuttering, bro.
You're stuttering.
Maybe I shouldn't. I mean, whatever. I live in New York. Like a lot of people live here.
There's a train. There's cars. There's a bus that'll take you there.
I will never go to New York.
I don't know. Like I also too like the fact that you guys are both sober. I really do feel like I would be judged.
Why are you gonna start just fucking
Because
with
Jason, you
poppers
always
and shit?
send
And
me-
just walking in the door.
Because Jason always sending me videos of drunk white girls. I know what your algorithm is, bitch. It's very evident what
Yeah.
your algorithm.
How come I don't get those videos?
And I'm like, I don't drink. I don't drink them. Listen, I drink. I enjoy substances, but I'm extremely balanced. And that's another thing. I would need someone who's extremely balanced. Like I couldn't. I mean, trust me. I've been with someone who literally passed away because of their addiction. So I couldn't do that. Never again. But could I be with a sober person? Honestly, I don't know, because it's not so much that I would care that they're sober. It's more like I don't want that. I feel like they would probably judge me or like have resentment.
As a person that's been sober for all my life, I totally hooked up with this girl in Vegas when I was working a festival there once, and she did rails a blow before we did it, and it was fine.
Fuck yeah.
I did not judge her.
But I want you to do it with me.
She was like, "You sure you don't want to try it?" She was like, I will never forget this. I will never fucking forget this, because I had this weird fucked up shift I was working, and I met her super randomly, and we had talked, and then like the next night, she met me at the festival because she was going there, and then we were staying in the same hotel. She's like, "We should hook up and like fuck or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." And so she's like, "But I got to get blow first." I was like, "Okay." And so she had scored her dope. And so she chopped it up and she was like, "Are you sure you don't want any?" I was like, "Totally fine." She's like, did it. And it's like, "Let's go." And, no judgment. We still talk.
Okay.
Friendly.
Well,
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know about those videos of drunk white girls.
I like
Those
that.
are funny as fuck. And they are.
Okay.
You know that one with those white girls who couldn't open the door was funny as shit.
It is really funny, but I feel like there's a subtext.
Oh, you think I'm judging you? This much.
Yeah, and you don't know my life. Anyway.
I like most of the people that I go on dates with drink. I used to drink, and like someday I probably will again, but just it's not for me right now. But I have also gone on dates with people who they can't really function in a mature emotional way without like taking a hit of their pen or like
I wouldn't
without
want
a
that.
drink or two in
Yeah.
them. And I believe you, Cynthia, but I will say they all have said that oh no, I don't need
I'm
this.
not like
I don't need
that.
this.
I
had one girl.
truly-
I had one girl. I was buck ass naked on my bed, and she was at my house, and she didn't drive, and she was like, "We drive me home to get my pen," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "No, I need to like, I really just want to take a hit of my weed pen," and I was like, "You're asking me
this dick."
Yeah, I was like, "I'm buck ass naked, and you're asking me to drive you home to get a fucking pen?" And she's like, "I know, it just like cuts the edge off. Like, I don't know."
Yeah, it's like Annie Hall. Sorry.
And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "I'm sorry if like that means we're not gonna do it, but I'm not driving you."
Good for you, Alex. Good for you. That would have been way too big of a move.
It's a red flag for me. Like the biggest red flag for me, besides like, "Oh, you're married," no, is being a vegetarian or vegan.
Shut the fuck up, because I'm a vegetarian, so I guess we can never date.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I see it. No, and I date guys who are not vegetarian. Because
I always like where I live is not very vegetarian friendly, and
in California it was probably more.
In California, yeah. Once you cross the imaginary line, yeah, San Diego all day long, but like here, not so much. I know Alex is a vegetarian. You're a vegan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm vegan.
You are?
Yeah.
See, why do you think I hooked this show up?
I've been vegan for 13 years.
Are you serious? Are you guys making fun of me or something?
No,
Vegetarian doesn't like Himalayan salt.
Wait,
Yeah, for real.
Strom said, why would she want you? Strom, I don't know. Are you trolling or something?
No,
This is like
the
a
kid,
latest moment
dude, the kid.
viral.
Look, this kid. I'll say this about this kid out of my own mouth.
Is he
It's not gonna
Let's
matter.
get Strom on.
No, he's
Let's
not
get-
19. But remember, I'm old as shit. So everybody's you're a kid.
Let's
You
get
know
Strom
him?
on.
I know him. I've hugged him 3 or 4 times. He is a
Right.
very, very sweet young man. He's very intelligent.
He seems
Bring him
extremely
on.
sensitive. Very
Sometimes
very
it's
intuitive.
rough for certain people to get over a dating hump,
I get it.
and it can feel like for fucking ever, right?
Well, honestly, Strom, I feel you because in the past year, I have had like embarrassment after like it's honestly been an extremely embarrassing year. Like I've shot my shot with like now in my head, I'm like, was it really so many guys? It
Don't
was probably
say
like
shot
3
in
to
your
4.
head.
It was probably like 3 to 5 dudes that I just straight up was like, gave him my number. And like I totally thought like they were into me and then just like nothing. Or they rejected me straight out or like and yeah, it really sucked.
Were they white dudes?
I think it was a mix. No,
Mix
it was
of
probably
it.
all white dudes.
Yeah, dude. That's where you think that's.
It was. But one was at like our company Christmas party, and I thought the bartender was really cute, and I like thought he was flirting with me, and then I gave him my number and never contacted me. But my coworker was
At
like,
the
"Yeah, 'cause
company
you're
Christmas party.
Yeah. but of course I'm not into
Gonna
anyone.
run into that motherfucker again at some point. God damn.
No, he's the bartender. He doesn't work at my company. Who's big
Your
booty
boy eye
Jimmy?
contact with you now.
Strom, you are totally trolling. Like, what do you mean?
He's dude. I'm telling you,
What, are you living in 2000?
Listen.
I don't like frat boys. I do like drug dealers sometimes, but like I don't like I don't like frat boys.
What I meant when I said you need to know what you want and what you're looking for.
Yes, you need to know what you want. You need to know what you're. If you want to like date someone, it depends. We all have things that we're like looking. Like I don't want to seriously be in a partnership right now, but if you do, you need to find that out for yourself and know that for yourself.
I want,
and then also lay out like specifically what you're looking for. Like what are your values? What do you want in a partner? And don't be afraid to like ask the universe for that, and don't be afraid to want it, and like expect it, and don't settle for Brandon or like Shelly or whatever, you know.
There's people on this chat that I've actually met in real life, and I'm like, how are you people having a hard time dating? You guys are like attractive people.
I know that's what I'm saying. Brain rot, internet brain rot. I don't know, because like I felt like in these situations, my coworker was like, she's like you're striking out because you're like so insecure about it. Like you need to go up and be confident about it, and that's partly true, I think. Because I was really insecure. I'm just like, oh, here's my number. You don't have to call me. It's fine. You know, like I wasn't really confident in it.
You got some admirers already. You got some admirers already.
What makes you think I haven't?
Because the fact that you had a dry spell, you would have hit that corner up real fucking quick.
Listen, I know some people right across the street who said they would, help me out. But
should we just take things to the champagne room?
Yeah, I guess it's really going there.
Yeah, that's when
Get off dating apps. You got to get out there in real life. That's what
it's hard. Look, it's hard. It's hard in real life because depending on your work schedule, like I think Strom works a job and I think he takes care. Like he has I don't want to say complicated life, but he has a life that more people are living, right? Where you take care of a family member, you might work a job in some sort of solitude. So once you get out into the open, like this happens to me, I'm stuck inside my house. Like I said, sometimes I go out, but when I go out and I meet people, it's like I'm chatty cat, and that could be maybe a turn off. Like maybe you see someone, you meet someone, you do hit it off, but you're just so excited to like see somebody, you're like a puppy. And then everybody wants the quote unquote puppy energy as you you young people.
I'm definitely puppy energy. Yeah, I'm just
So
like,
yeah, like I said, I'm fucking chatty Cathy. So people see me, they're like, oh look who lost their puppy. I'm always like that. Alex, stop watching porn on your phone. Seriously.
There was another thing I was going to say.
I don't watch porn.
You don't watch porn?
Not at all.
It's just me that's funding it.
The one thing that Red Scare said about porn, the one thing that Red Scare said that I agreed with was, I think Anna said, like, I don't like porn is like a shallow orgasm. And I totally agree with that.
Damn.
I thought that was so insightful. That's what I think the culture of like sex right now. It's like, yeah, okay, there's sex, but it's very shallow and it's like sort of energetically empty. It feels very indicative of where we're at.
I would be walking through life like Strom if someone told me they had a shallow orgasm. Women don't want you.
I agree with the shallowness of
no,
it all.
Strom, I don't want an emotionally unavailable toxic man because I've been there. Listen, a lot of women have to go through what was like an initiation thing of like dating the toxic bad boy. I went through that, but you also have to learn from your relationships.
I think I agree with Strom there. I think
that women just want toxic. Stop doing these generalizations. I don't want that. Am I not all women? Am I not?
I don't think that it's that women want it per se. I think that the toxic bad boy is just more appealing because there could be a number of reasons, but it's just that is what it is. I mean, I know a lot of like really great men who are not alpha males, I guess is the word for it, and they're all single and they've all lost girlfriends or partners to like somebody who, I don't know, is a drug dealer or I don't know, drives a motorcycle or some alpha.
I wish it was that simple. I remember my first wife left me for this dude and the motherfucker had this shiny denim outfit on. And I was like, you left me for this dude with the shiny denim outfit?
Just Santa's boots. Well, maybe we should talk. I mean, talking about that, this is a larger conversation, but I think it's how men and women are conditioned to be socially. Just like that is kind of a generalization, but I think there is like a phenomenon there that can be, sort of added. I was just gonna say, he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
No, it was like this shiny denim, like Sean John. Fuck, this was in the 90s.
I see.
It was early 2000s. Early 2000s.
I see it now.
And I was hurt. I mean, she married him, so it's
damn.
He's with.
But you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Like women are conditioned, usually, typically in society, to be what? To be weak, to not know themselves like deeply, to not be connected to their own power, to be conditioned to always want to be desired. Like, who will like me? I want someone to like me. They're conditioned to be liked just as much as men are conditioned to be what? Like powerful caretakers or, not wanting to be a loser or whatever. So I don't know. I think it makes sense that then a lot of women are attracted to, or they bring in men who are like, I don't know, they're sort of like exploitative of the weakness. But again, it's like part of the initiation. Like maybe some people have to go through that. I had to go through it to then now come out on the other side and be more like confident in myself, conscious of my own self and like power. Like I would not put up with that now, because I'm 36. Like I put up with that when I was 24, but like I would not. Like if there was I would probably, maybe I would have fun with him, but like I would never be like, I want to seriously be with him. I'd be like, no, absolutely not. It's never happening,
Would you peg him? Don't answer that. Save it for the champagne room. Save it for the champagne room. We're going to the champagne room where Alex and Cynthia will, we're going to make it like a dating show. And I'm going to ask them a series of questions. And if no one's balloon gets popped, then I will sell some plasma and get Alex a train ticket to New York.
I told you, I ain't ever going to New York.
You sound like Tupac. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Terrible pizza.
Wow. I'm loving all the pizza talk. East Coasters and pizza is the funniest shit in the world.
How do you say his name? Or I don't know what's the gender is, but is like Mercutio, like in Romeo and Juliet.
Sure.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you, Cynthia, Alex, and Jason for tonight's show. Isn't that so kind and like generous? Thank
I want
you.
Lula to call in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want that to happen?
Yeah, I want Lula.
No, dude. I'll ask.
Thank you for accepting me on this show because I know I wasn't what was promised.
That's what I say all the time.
Oh, you're great. You're great. I think you made some really good and poignant points. I think it's important to point out when people are generalizing too much. Although, like we are a society, although we are a society that is built on generalization, you have to generalize in order to get anywhere. I think.
Well, there's phenomena, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's obviously like phenomena, like women being more.
I'm a phenomenon, bro.
Unsure of themselves, men feeling like, oh, I need to have some sort of status or power or else, I'm a loser. Like, obviously, I don't have that kind of conditioning necessarily as much as men. So there's obviously like phenomena, but like, I just think that you pigeonhole yourself into a trap of nihilism if you're just like, well, all men, like, for example, for me, I have gone there mentally where it doesn't feel good, where I'm like, all men just want 22-year-olds. That's it. They just all want a fucking 20-year-old. Like, I'm no longer attractive. They don't want me. Like, I get into those spirals, especially in New York City, especially in like literary circles and the circles that
I can see that, dude. Creepy motherfucker.
Like, I'm sorry, but like it'd be like that. So obviously I'm going to have my empirical data that I'm collecting, and I'm like, oh, Alex Karpovsky from Girls is like literally not talking to me. He's talking to the 22-year-old, and he's like fucking 50 years old. That's a story for another time.
That's fucking gross.
But you know what I'm like? So
I'm gonna leave
yeah.
this episode with a quote from Tony Montana, and it illustrates what I wanted to say about women and status in men, and that is that in this country, you got to make the money first. Then, when you get the money, you get the power. Then you get the power. Then you get the women.
Wow.
Spoken like a true poet.
Tony Montana knew.
On that note, we're going to the champagne room. Again, if you guys want to try it out.
That autistic.
If you guys want to try it out, you can try out the champagne room for 7 days of free trial for $3 a month, $30 for the year. You can join us. Give us a second to set up the call in.
Call me in.
That is girl. In the champagne room is where we're going to start the in-soul movement. So join us.
What is the in-soul movement? Is that like an incel?
It's the opposite of incel.
It means you're getting laid?
No, it means you're going into your soul and you're getting rid of all that toxic, nihilistic negativity, and you're like becoming who you are.
But no one's getting laid?
That might be a fringe benefit.
Lula, give me a call in the champagne room.
Yeah, meet us there.
I'm so mad at both of you guys. Okay, thank you guys. And we'll see you. Give us a few minutes and we are out.